In this session, I want people to get a vision for team. I want them to desire to be a part of a team. I want them to feel, I want a place to belong. I want to be a part of a group of people who are together, whose contributions are valued by one another, who are in this together.
Welcome to Session 6 of Experiencing LeaderShift Together. You should be highly commended for making it to this final session with the commitment you have to team ministry. One final area we need to examine is the difference between people who function in a group and people who function as a part of a team. What happens when they're together and what gets accomplished through each is very different. And which do you think God is calling us to? Don's teaching will help you with this, so let's now listen to what he has to say about team ministry.
Well, you made it. Let me just take a moment and say congratulations. I pray that your time together has been fruitful. In this session, we're going to focus on the word together. You may have noticed that the title of this whole series is Experiencing LeaderShift Together. Now, at some time during your life, you have probably had the opportunity to participate with a group of people. Maybe you belonged to a club, played a sport, sang in a choir, acted in a play. Maybe you've been a Boy Scout or Girl Scout troop, youth group at church, college fraternity, or had a job where you work with others. Given the fact that you are hearing me now probably indicates that you are a part of a ministry team or a small group. You know, when you stop to think about it, we do very little on our own. As we start this last session, let me ask you, considering all the groups you've been a part of, how many teams have you been on? There's a difference, isn't there? The difference between being in a group and being a part of a team. Well, in this session, I want to talk to you about serving as a team. You see, I believe that this is what God had in mind when He inspired the Apostle Paul to use the analogy of the human body in 1 Corinthians 12 to explain his desire for how the church would operate. The body provides a perfect example of many individual parts working together to accomplish something that no individual part could accomplish on its own. You know, if you stop to think about it, every individual part of your body plays an important part in enabling you to function in life. If you don't believe me, just stop and consider, which part would you go without? Well, this is how it's supposed to be in the body of Christ. Every individual part working together with all the other individual parts to make the body function as God desires. In 1 Corinthians 12:20 we read, "But now there are many members, but one body." Friends, that's team. That's very best. And is often said in sports, there is no I in team. To be a team, we must be more important than me. And in the end, team is absolutely critical because, as the letters often spell, together everyone accomplishes more. So what's the difference between a group of individuals and a team? Let me give you some of the characteristic differences. Number one, on a team, relationships are desired and valued. Well, in a group, relationships are often a mere necessity. In groups, we relate because of our common involvement. But take that common involvement away, we probably wouldn't relate. But on a team, relationships mean more than that. Relationships run deeper than common involvement. They are more than a mere necessity. They are desired and valued. Secondly, on a team, members focus on one another as they accomplish the work, while in a group of individuals, the work is clearly the focus. In a group, it's about the work getting done, something being accomplished. On a team, it's about us doing the work together. As a result, everyone has ownership in both success and failure. Third characteristic, on a team, members feel the support of one another, while in a group, members often feel like Lone Rangers. But remember, Lone Ranger did have Tonto. Do you know what I'm talking about? The emotional support that comes from a team, it's different, isn't it? I think this is what Paul is saying in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 26, where we read this. And if one member suffers, all the members suffer with it. If one member is honored, all the members rejoice with it. You know, when you stub your toe or jam your finger or have a cold, your whole body feels it, doesn't it? Well, on a team, when one suffers, all suffer. When one rejoices, all rejoiced. Next, on a team, what we accomplish is what matters. Well, in a group, it's usually about what I accomplish. Did we win is what matters to a sports team, not merely how did I perform. Did our sales team succeed in accomplishing our goals is more important than did I meet my quota. Did the choir sound good in addition to, well, did I sing all the right notes? On a team, it is truly believed that we is more important than me. And finally, you'll know you're a member of the team when the team becomes a major part of your life. And this is different than a group where it's the work that becomes a major part of your life. This came home to me just recently when I visited one of the small groups in my church. The next day I spoke to the woman who, along with her husband, leads the group. She said, I think my husband and I could leave our church, but we could never leave our small group. Well, she and her husband loved the church as a whole and have no intention of leaving it. The point she was making came through. My small group is my team, and it's the indispensable part of my life. So let me ask you again. Considering all the groups you've been a part of over the course of your life, how many teams have you been on? Friends, the goal here is to build a team, to become members of a team, to serve as a team. In order for this to be the case, I believe that two things must be true for each and every one of you as a member of your team. First, you must feel a sense of belonging. I'm accepted here. I'm wanted here. I belong here. This is my team. We all long to find that somewhere, don't we? In order for a ministry team to truly be a team, the members of the team, all of them, must feel this sense of belonging. In order for your small group to function as a team, you need to feel this sense of belonging now. Well, before I talk about how this sense of belonging is created, let me mention the other necessity for team, and that's this. Second, you must make a valued contribution to the work of the team. In order to feel like you are a member of a team, you must have a role to play that makes a difference. The other members of the team need to know your role and value it. In the same way, you need to know their individual roles and value each one of them. You know, spectators can support their team, but they can't feel a part of the team in the same way a player can. If you want to be a part of the team, you have to be a player. You don't have to be a lead player. You certainly don't have to be the star player. You don't even need to be a visible player when the game is played before others. But you must be a player making a valued contribution. Belonging and contributing are indispensable ingredients for team.
The formation of a team begins with a picture. It's a clear image of what it's going to look like when you get there. I think of individuals in the movie industry, and even before the movie is ever made, there's a script. And the script details what the movie is going to be like, what people are going to do, what people are going to say, the images, the style, the pace, all of that is crystal clear before anyone is cast in a role. And that's a vision, that's a picture that people can get excited about. And so the vision is where you begin. And sometimes that's the result of one individual. Oftentimes it's the result of multiple people. But when you get the script, when you see the picture, when folks can imagine what it looks like when you get there, then you can start to see their eyes light up and get excited. Then you begin to identify and invite the right people, and your team is formed.
Now, how do we get there? How do we get the team? Because we know, you know, I know, it doesn't happen by accident or just because we wanted to. Becoming a team takes some effort. Well, for starters, you need to know what you have to offer the team and a role that allows you to make your contribution. In terms of this study, you need to know your zone of God's anointing and then have a role that allows God's anointing to flow through your life. Put another way, you need to be a success as a team member. What I mean by success, faithful, fruitful, and fulfilled. You see, if you are a success, as God defines success, you will be a valued member of the team. Know what your contribution is. Know what your role is. And then carry it out with everything within you. Next, relate as a teammate. It's like the old adage, if you want to have friends, be one. This means that you need to relate to members on the team outside of just your work together. Get to know one another as more than contributors to the work of service. Ask questions of one another on a deeper level than, how are you doing? And answer questions on a deeper level than, well, I'm fine, thanks. Pray with and for one another, which means that you'll need to know the needs in one another's lives. Encourage one another. Find someone doing something right and tell them. Encourage your teammates as they seek to make their contribution. Play together. Have fun. There is truth to the statement, those who laugh together stay together. And dream together. What could God do through our lives if we really sold ourselves out to Him and one another? What could this ministry that we're involved in really accomplish? And then strategize and brainstorm with one another. How could we do this better? What's the next step? How do we take this ministry up a notch in terms of impact? Find ways to serve one another outside the work you're doing. Help a teammate with a project around their house. Walk with them through an important decision or through a trial they are facing. Friends, it's these sort of involvements that make you teammates over time. And don't forget, oh, please don't forget, celebrate together. Worship together. Take time to thank God together for what He is doing among you and through you.
It's much more team-oriented as opposed to lone rangers out there. There's much more team. And doing ministry in team is the best because everybody brings their giftedness and their part, and things just get done well.
Well, you've probably noticed that the title of this series is Experiencing LeaderShift Together. On the cover, we italicized the word together because we wanted to emphasize it. You see, doing ministry together is not just a good idea, it's God's idea. Have you stopped to consider the fact that God Himself dwells within a context of together as what we call the Trinity? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And God has always operated as the Trinity. Read the very first 3 verses of the Bible, Genesis 1, 1-3, and you will find all 3 members of the Trinity involved in creation. It could be said, there is no I in God. God is the very embodiment of team. While the Trinity is a difficult concept for us to get our minds to understand, the fact is, God dwells as 3 in 1. Or in the context of our study, 3 members, 1 God. And God models perfect teamwork in how He functions as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. You know, we've been created in His image, and therefore we need to follow His example. And again, not just because it's a good idea or merely beneficial for accomplishing more. Team is how God has made us. God has made us to need to work together. It's been my privilege to work with a team of people in putting this study together. And the truth is, I couldn't have done it alone. Because of the team, the joy of the journey increases, and together, everyone accomplishes more. May this be your experience as well. And may you, as a team or group, know the zone of God's anointing. And remember, as it's written in the book of Philippians, He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. Thank you, and may God bless you richly and anoint your life and ministry.
Team ministry is another way of saying we are all members of the body of Christ, functioning interdependently. Now, as it is often said, just do it. While these sessions are coming to a close, the process of learning and serving as equippers and servers continues. It is God's plan for the church. So keep sharing with each other about what you're learning. Keep speaking to one another so that you can say with confidence, we truly are experiencing LeaderShift together. It has been our privilege to have this time with you. We trust that in some small way, we have assisted you in better understanding who God has created and called you to be and given direction to that role as a God-honoring server or equipper. Make the most of this last team time together and be blessed. Remember what Paul wrote to the Ephesians in chapter 4, verse 1, to walk worthy of the calling to which you've been called. That's our prayer for you.